Today I'm going to talk about something that I have to say no to. I'm not telling you no. Oh my goodness, I'm going into the garden to do this. Hi, it's Robbie from Southern California, and I'm working on other videos, and I had to come in real quick and do this clip on my thoughts because I'm kind of horrified on some of the questions I get, and I realize I thought I talked about it, maybe I didn't, or maybe you're hearing things from other people. So let's just get to it right now and talk about composting in place, composting in general, using kitchen scraps, what you should and should not do, and let's just get right into what I'm going to talk about. I get a lot of questions on you saving your kitchen scraps, which is absolutely the most important thing to do. Look at it. Cities from all over the world now want your kitchen scraps. They're giving you free containers and they want to come collect it, and then they break it down and they either give it away or sell it. Your kitchen scraps are gold. Now, if you're in a snowy area and you've got cold weather and you're freezing it, I've heard from some of you saying that you take all your kitchen scraps and you store it in the freezer. That's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. That is perfectly fine. You don't have to do anything to it. When spring comes and you're ready to use it, then just take it out and put it out wherever you're going to put it, whether you're going to compost in place like I do, straight in your pots, containers, or in the ground, or if you're going to put it in a compost bin, or whatever way you want to do it. Even if you're going to feed it to your worms, you can take it out of the freezer, it'll thaw quickly, and it is good to go to use. The question I'm getting is, when I save it, whether it's frozen, coming out of the kitchen, your whatever, should I put it in my blender? Because I've heard that's the best way. I'm going to have to say, for my personal opinion, and I don't want to go against anybody else that's telling you something else, my opinion on that, no. If you blend it, you've turned your valuable gold that was in its natural state, even rotten, even moldy, into a pulpy mess. Nobody's going to eat that. Your earthworms aren't going to want it. In fact, they'll drown in it. They want to get to the parts that they want. They want to crawl through it. When you drop in kitchen scraps, whether it's fresh out of your kitchen, or sometimes I leave a compost bucket sitting somewhere and it rots and gets moldy and maggots get in it, that's natural. Microbes have gotten in there and started to break it down. Bacteria has gotten in there and they're breaking it down. That's natural. But if you blend it, I'm just going to say, to me personally, it sounds horrifying. It's not going out in its natural state. Nature doesn't blend it. Nature takes the leaves and drops it to the ground. It slowly breaks down. Rotting fruit. Some of your fruit, it's amazing, and your vegetables can last all year, all winter. I've had some last a year. I've got some shark fin melon that's still sitting and looks as good last year as it did this year. I don't even want to get into that. But nature lets a lot of it just sit in its state until it's ready. You can have an old squash out in your garden. It may look just so perfect, might get a little dry afterwards, and it's waiting for spring till the microbes get in there and start to eat it away and release the seeds when the time is right. But nobody's blending it. Nobody's taking it and making it a mush. The plants are not looking for a green drink. We're looking for a green drink because we want to drink it because we don't want to eat that much. That's okay. But when you're blending your kitchen scraps, you're not doing anything more than making yourself extra work. I don't know how much of it will break down correctly. I don't know if the earthworms will ever touch it, maybe a little bit. Let's just say freezing it is perfect. Putting it in the corner of your yard and just dumping it in a container all winter, even if it petrifies, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it dries out. It doesn't matter if it rots. It doesn't matter if it molds. When it comes to putting it in your compost, it's going to break down at the right time in its natural state, even like that, when the time is right. But blending it, I get so many questions. Should I put it in the blender? Should I make a soup out of it? I'm going to say no. Don't waste your time. And on top of that, you're not making anything beneficial. You're actually just creating more work, and it might take longer to break down because now you're not bringing in the right critters you want. You want the earthworms to come in. You want the microbes to come in, the ones that want to go through the matter itself and pick the parts it wants to eat. If you turn it into a soup, it can't crawl through it. They'll literally get stuck to it. They'll drown. They'll suffocate. Remember, I tell you that a lot of times we throw leaves and different things in our soil because they want space. These earthworms want to be able to crawl and maneuver through tunnels that they make. Space. So if you're blending it, they're not making space. I don't know. I just wanted to kind of touch base with you on that. No, I don't blend it. I save it. I forget about it. I have containers around here. I bring it out from the kitchen. I drop it in a corner. Nothing touches it. Rarely does a rat or anything get into it. I don't know why. They don't bother with it. But it does get brown. It does flatten down. It can sometimes rot, and I still use it. Just in the state that nature put it. Whatever way. Whether it's my fault for forgetting about it, nature did it that way, and it still works, and it works perfect. So I hope I've answered some questions, and if I get them again, I'll refer you to this video. Now, as I always say, you do what you want. If you want to blend it and pour it in, watch those earthworms run away because they won't be able to use it because it's just liquid, and they're not water creatures. Remember that. They're land creatures. They live right under the surface of the soil top, and they feed under that. That's why you can go pick up a flower pot and you'll find them sometimes underneath because that's where they live, and they like being closer to the top. They won't be able to live in that muck, and that's what it will be. So make your life easier. Save it in whatever fashion you want to save it. I know you don't want to just put it in plastic bags out your door because it will stink and you won't like that, especially when there's no microbes in a sealed bag because there's no oxygen. But you can put it in a container with holes underneath so it doesn't fill with water, and leave it all winter. Just throw your vegetables in there. You can have a cap, just make sure there's a little bit of oxygen getting in there, and then come spring, it doesn't matter what it looks like. Nature just wants it the way it was. Leave it alone. Don't waste your time trying to blend it. It's not going to speed anything up. It's just going to make your soil into a cakey mess, and you want space. You want particles in there. You want it just the way nature does it, where everything just falls naturally, and then critters get in there. Your good critters for your garden. They get in there, they break it down, and you know what? It's going to disappear in the proper way, the way Mother Nature does it. Think of your soil. We're trying to get our soil to be not mush, not a muck. We want our soil to be fluffy. And let me tell you something, this is not going to make fluffy soil. So with that, have a wonderful day. And don't forget to eat what you grow. And just put it out, whatever way it's left, put it out that way, and it will be fine. And you'll be happier, and so will all your garden critters. That will be the way they want it, the way nature had intended. Bye-bye. Why would anybody want to blend it? Here, tell everybody hello because you're going back in the house. Let me get to the garden and tell you what I have to say no to. Now the shoelaces.